Hi, this is James, and for today I don't want to do one of my more serious discussion videos. I want to do something that's just simple. It's a rapper bracket. I want to clarify going into this. I'm not trying to disparage any artist by saying I like one more than them. I'm merely just giving my own opinion. For context, I really got into rap only about 5 years ago now. Since then, my understanding of the genre has only grown, but I don't want to act like I've been ingrained in that culture my whole life by any means. So this is coming from a place of like respect and admiration for these artists. So for this bracket, I'm using one I just found on bracketfights.com. There's going to be ads during this. Ignore them. Sorry about that. Need to get an ad blocker. Starting off in Atlanta, Jeezy and Gucci Mane. And I gotta say, I know Jeezy's influential. I know to many, he's like one of their GOATs. I don't know what he does that I don't find someone else from Atlanta in that time doing better. And I think some of his proteges are actually a lot better than him. So... And there's there's kind of a slight at Jeezy, but I think Jeezy's more important as a figure in Atlanta rap than anything else. It's kind of the same for Gucci Mane, but I still think Gucci makes better music. Meek Mill, 2 Chainz. Meek Mill actually has like work that I will listen to all the way through. 2 Chainz, I guess has Pretty Girls Like Trap Music, but that's kind of it in terms of like albums in that way. I get all the matchups right now in the first round having this sort of like, there's a dynamic between these artists, especially with like, Jeezy, Gucci Mane, Meek Mill, 2 Chainz, now Cameron and Fabulous. But it's Cameron. Cameron has better production, in my opinion, more iconic of an artist. Nelly and Fat Joe, like, who is going Fat Joe on this? Like, I know Fat Joe has like 2 or 3 songs, but like, and that are like considered good. Like I know he has a lot, like a weirdly large amount of like hit songs, but Nelly has like one of the biggest like albums ever with Country Grammar. That stuff's so crazy. Big Crit or J. Cole. Big Crit I think has an album that you could compare to some of the best J. Cole projects, but J. Cole I think without a doubt is a better MC in every way. Danny Brown or LP. It's Danny Brown, but I feel bad that LP's going out this early because LP is a really, really talented rapper in his solo career that I feel like is underrated. ASAP Ferg or Nicki. Ferg's great. I don't want to undermine Ferg. Ferg has some of my favorite just like trap stuff in general. Like he has that goofy song with Made in Tokyo that's like actually pretty good. He has a weird ability with his voice to like make a boring flow sound really fun and exciting and like it's new because of certain inflections he can do. That's not a normal tendency. It kind of reminds me of ODB, who I think is on this list later, but yeah, kind of in that New York tradition. But Nicki has like actual like projects that you can come back to. 50 or DMX. This is DMX. DMX has so many albums that are great. Busy Bone or MJG. I know his voice is kind of weird. I'm going Busy Bone. Bun B or Corrupt. I know how important Corrupt is, but being from Texas, Bun B just makes sense. I mean, like, Bun B is a great artist. He has a song with a band called the Parquet Courts. It's worth checking out. Captive of the Sun. It's weird. It's different than anything else Bun B has done. Eazy or Dr. Dre. Eazy is a better rapper, and considering this is a rapper thing, going Easy, but Queen Latifah or Common. I like Water for Chocolate is such a crazy good album, and B by Common has multiple projects that are just incredible, but like I feel weird saying that in the sense of they're classics if you're a rap head, you know what I mean? Like they're classics if you're one of those guys who really likes lyrical, miracle, spiritual kind of stuff. It's very thoughtful rap. Not that other rap isn't. It's more just very conscious, And I think it's like a good thing, but I'll talk about it more later why it kind of hurts Common in some ways, because I think he doesn't end up focusing on some of the best qualities of his work, which is why like all of his best work happens when he's working with a great producer because they know where to guide him. ODB's a legend. He'll probably go way too far in this bracket because I'm me. Ice Cube or Killer Mike? Killer Mike's great. Ice Cube is so much better. It's just an unfortunate matchup. Inspected Deck or Sean Price? I love Wu-Tang so much. Inspected Deck has to go on. LZ or Lupe? Lupe has so much stuff now, like drill music and Mount Zion, all that. It's so incredible. He's talented, so talented. And I even like some of the poppy stuff that people don't like, with like lasers and all that. Lord Finesse or Large Professor? I'm going Large Professor. I remember I found him from, I think, like a YouTube video where someone was talking about like the history of something and mentioned Large Professor. Nori or Lil Kim? Lil Kim is just like okay, Nori. Okay, here's the thing with Nori, right? Like, you have Super Thug and all that, where it's like the reason why it got popular is because of Pharrell's the Neptunes production. Do people really listen to Nori outside of the songs that are produced by the Neptunes? Let me know. I don't know if I've ever heard a Nori song not produced by the Neptunes. Rakim or Big Daddy Kane? See, I'm going Rakim. Eric B. and Rakim, I think, is just some of the best rapping you'll ever hear. Like, the storytelling, I know everyone talks about it, but like the storytelling truly is like next level. There's a reason why it's aged so well. Big Pun, or I don't know why I can't tell who that is. I'm gonna go Big Pun because I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm recording this early. I record these in the morning. Slick Rick, DMC. Slick Rick. Run DMC is great, in DMC specifically, but Slick Rick is just a better MC. Snoop Dogg or Devin the Dude? Snoop Dogg. I'll talk about it more later, but he's underrated as a rapper, but like, because he's just known for the persona. People forget about all the stuff he's done. CeeLo Green or Warren G? CeeLo is like so important for like popularizing certain like Atlanta sounds. And I don't want to ignore that because he has like projects that he worked on that are truly amazing. And Warren G kind of only has, this is like a very even matchup for me because Warren G obviously has like the main album with like Regulate on it that like is very important for just popularizing Long Beach. But like, I also think Snoop Dogg did a similar thing, just a lot better. So I'm gonna go CeeLo. I feel like I have a very strong South bias. Okay, this is an unfair matchup because Lauryn Hill is an absolute legend, but Andre is just Andre, and he's a top 3 rapper. Maybe my favorite. We'll see. So he kind of has to move on. Razcast or Royce da 5? No, I actually kind of like Royce. I know some of his stuff is pretty bad. Denzel was the first artist that got me like into rap. This shows my age, I guess. Redman and Exhibit. It is Redman, but Exhibit's actually pretty good. Exhibit has some good songs, but Redman is like, your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. Method Man, again, Wu-Tang bias. Raekwon, Wu-Tang bias. I mean, you'll see. GZA or Prodigy? I'm going Prodigy. I do like GZA though, but okay. Jay-Z or Kanye? Given the recent stuff, Jay. Before that, probably Kanye. Nas or Doom? See, okay, this is gonna be my hot take. I don't think Nas is as good as people say he is. I think there's a lot of pretend with it because with the Jay-Z beef, everyone wants to pick the underdog. You want to pick the more artsy artist, the guy who's true for the culture, all of that, not the businessman, But the thing we're all ignoring is the fact that it's like, how many great So he has Illmatic. Stillmatic's production aged horribly, but I get why people like it. But we're lying to ourselves if we're acting like there's a good beat on there. And even then, Illmatic, I don't think is like a top 10 album ever made. Like, it commonly gets like put up there. And I don't want to sound like I think it's a bad album. I think it's a good album, but it's not the best I've ever heard by any means. Kind of not close for me. And even then, like, I guess his King Disease projects, like, I know one won a Grammy, but they don't really do anything for me. I don't know. Like, I don't know who they're for, But MF Doom is kind of like, he had way more consistency. He had so many better albums. I think of Food being an album that I think is probably better than Omatic. I think Mad Villainy is better than Omatic. I think Operation Doomsday is like at a similar level. Yeah, I'm going MF Doom. Gucci or Meek Mill. Gucci Mane's making it weirdly far. Cameron's like an actual rapper. He has like great projects. J. Cole or Danny Brown, people aren't gonna I hate that. I hate that I'm saying like, oh, people aren't gonna like this. But like either way, this kind of like determines my mindset through this. Danny Brown, I think, is the more like artistically intentional artist out of the two, in the sense of he creates projects, I think, with a more cohesive vision, which is weird to say against J. Cole, who always has like a theme for his projects. But I think a theme is very different than like a sonic palette. And I think Danny has better sonic palettes. But as a rapper, it's J. Cole. Nicki or DMX? This is unfortunate because I love DMX, so it's gonna be DMX. DMX is one of those weird examples where when they released his first posthumous, I know they're talking about this new posthumous. I don't want that, but the first posthumous release is one of the best posthumous releases I've ever heard, because it was mainly comprised of stuff that was like finished while he was alive. It was just sitting on someone's computer that could have been out, and he didn't oppose being out there. Busy Bone or Bun B? I'm going Bun B. Busy Bone's still great. Eazy-E or Common? I'm going Common. I feel like Eazy-E, there's just not enough from, because he, tragically passed away early. ODB or Ice Cube? Ice Cube is like objectively the better rapper, but like ODB, I just enjoy listening to so much more. Inspector Deck or Lupe Fiasco? Again, Wu-Tang bias. It's going to be Inspector Deck, but Lupe is obviously amazing. Large Professor or Lil' Kim? I guess Lil' Kim. He's going far. She's going far. Big Pun or Rakim? Slick Rick or Snoop Dogg? See, this is where my bias, you're going to see my biases are Wu-Tang if they're from New York, if they're from California, the Long Beach area, and if they're from the South, certain artists in Atlanta. Slick Rick and Snoop Dogg. I'm going Snoop. Snoop has like a lot of underrated work. I actually like The Dogfather. Like, there's a lot of projects from Snoop that I feel like just get immediately dismissed because they aren't Doggy style. CeeLo Green or Andre 3000? I mean, Royce da 5'9" or Denzel. This is Denzel for me. Pretty handily. Redman or Method Man? I'm going Redman. It feels weird to get Method Man out that early, but I think I genuinely just prefer other MCs in Wu-Tang. Raekwon or Prodigy? Like, this is it. Raekwon. I love Raekwon. Jay-Z or MF Doom? I hate this because I love Doom, but Jay just has like the influence, the tone setting, and in general quality that no other rapper has, where almost every other rapper, Cameron, any other rapper, when they've reached that level of success, immediately have such a diminish in their quality of work. But like, Jay had a lot of quality for a while. I mean, like, obviously you have certain projects that just didn't land, but like, even his ones that are like bad still have a few songs from it that are like good hits. DMX or J. Cole? This is unfortunate, but I'm going J. Cole. I don't even like J. Cole that much, but I just think he's so talented. He's been so great for so long. Bun B or Common? I'm gonna go Common. That's an unfortunate end to Bun B's run. ODB or an Inspector Deck? ODB was just so crazy, but he was also like the realest one out of all the people that, like, that video of Pharrell talking to ODB and trying to get his confidence up in the studio and everything. This is an unfortunate matchup with Andre. It's just so revealing for who ODB is, because like, he has that whole persona, he has the whole character, his life was crazy. Oh, people are really not going to like me for this matchup. But I think ODB is just so genuine and weirdly honest in his music in a way that kind of makes the joking stuff feel vulnerable in a way. Redman or Denzel? I'm 19. This makes sense for me to like Denzel more. Denzel is the artist who got me into rap. I know this is like, old heads aren't going to like this, but Denzel, by a pretty large margin for me. Raekwon or Jay-Z or Jay? Come on. I mean, like, he's the GOAT for a reason. Cameron or J. Cole? Why is Cole going this far? I don't like Cole. He's just been getting like convenient matchups. Common or ODB? I'm going ODB. Rakim Andre. I love Andre 3000 so much. I think I don't even have to explain why. Like, Aquemini is a classic. I think The Love Below, classic. Stankonia, classic. He doesn't have like a single dud. I even think Idlewild is a decent project. There's nothing that he's done that has been like bad. Denzel or J. ODB over Cole. See, that feels weird though, because ODB only has like 2 or 3 projects that I really come back to frequently. I just enjoy those projects so much that they're better than Cole. Like, has like a decent quantity of work that I think is good. Andre or Jay, good way for Jay-Z to get out. Andre 3000, yeah, he's going to the finals. Now it's, I guess, newer stuff on this side of the bracket. I hope, because I have a little bit more of an understanding. Chief Keef or Young Thug is an unfortunate matchup. Young Thug, I think, is one of the best. I think he's probably the best trap artist of all time. Yeah, he's gonna go far. But Young Thug, all of his mixtapes are so amazing. Slime Season 1, 2, 3, all great. Offset or Quavo, I always liked Offset more. That's just a personal preference. T.I. or Lil Wayne, come on. T.I. is so overrated. I think he's like one of those artists that people would just pretend to like because it seems cool to like someone who went from like Southern Underground to King of the South to pop rapper. But like, Lil Wayne is Lil Wayne. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whenever I compare T.I. to some of his contemporaries, I'm like, he is without a doubt like the worst one. Paul Wall or Ludacris? Paul Wall's got that Texas connection, but Luda's low-key underrated. People I think in my age range don't know. Like, they just don't know. Joey Badass or Rhapsody? It's Joey. No shade to Rhapsody. Rhapsody's great. But Joey's just one of my favorites. Freddie or Mac? Could this have been a worse matchup for me? Like, I love both these artists so much. I was listening to Freddie this morning. I was listening to Bandana. But Bandana, Pinata, Alfredo, those are all amazing projects. Even SSS, I think, is a fantastic project from Freddie. Mac is also so much more influential. I think he's influential on, like, my personal work. I think he's so important to rap. Like, what he did, helping out artists like Vince and Earl during the times he did, and more specifically Vince, because I think Earl was a very mutual thing. I don't want to act like he was, like, you know, saving their careers by any means. It was very much more of a mutual working together thing. But I just think Mac is so important, and he came from a place of respect. And I think that's something that is so vital, especially seeing certain artists come into the space now where I think it's a little questionable what their motivation is at best. I'm going to go Freddie just as a rapper. Rocky or Tyler. Again, just as a rapper, this is tough. I think as an artist, in general, if we're counting just like their forays into things outside of rap, it's pretty handily Tyler for me. I think he's very skilled just as like a producer outside of rapping, in the sense of when he produces stuff for like Maxo Cream or for Westside Gunn. But this is tough because these are two artists that I absolutely love. Rocky is so important, but I hope Lil B's on this list later so I can show him some love for the cloud rap stuff. I'm going Tyler. Tyler's just so important to me as a person and like as an artist. I think he's just so amazing. I don't need to explain why he's great. Drake or Future? Jesus. I'm going Future. I don't know why I was going to pretend like Drake was going to win that. Drake has, Take Care and Nothing Was the Same. I absolutely love his projects. But I think anything before Take Care, I think like So Far Gone or whatever, so overrated to me. I don't get the appeal. The production aged horribly, and the rapping's kind of mediocre. I love a lot of blog era stuff. I would rather listen to Lupe from that era way more than Drake. I'd rather listen to 808s and Heartbreak than that from Drake. I'd rather listen to early Kid Cudi 1,000 times more than Drake. And even later Drake, like, I like Views. I actually think that album's like the direction I wish Drake had stayed in. Doing stuff like that poppier, dancey stuff, I think it's good for him. Like, I honestly didn't hate Nevermind, because I thought it was at least genuine compared to like Certified Lover Boy and all that stuff, which just feels very fake. Crazy Bone or 8 Ball? Okay, here we go. Crazy Bone. Too Short or Pimp C? Too Short? Actually really good. Love Too Short. E40 or Missy Elliott. See, this is tough because I love E40, but Missy's just like, I know she's always overrated in like Rolling Stone because they put her as like the #1 artist ever, but like she is really, really good. Superfly is an incredible project. Lady of Rage or Lil Fame, I'm not even going to pretend like I listen to either of these two artists. I'm ignorant on this. I'm going to go Lady of Rage. Sticky Fingers or Billy Danze. Again, don't really listen. All right, Tech Nine or Busta Rhymes. Busta's like this is like good evil. You know what I mean? Like Tech Nine sucks, but Busta's like kind of cool. So it's gonna be Busta. Black Thought or RZA. Okay, this is tough, but as a rapper, not a producer, Black Thought. Havoc or Daz Dillinger. Okay, I'm going Havoc. Havoc's really good. Havoc's amazing. Big Boy or Be Real. Be Real's awesome. Be Real's awesome. I saw a live performance with Be Real, and he actually killed it. It was awesome. Yeah, he had weirdly good energy. Big Boy. I'm going Big Boy though. one half of the greatest rap duo of all time. Yeah. Q-Tip's underrated as a rapper and just an artist in general. Scarface or Cool G Rap. Cool G Rap is like truly the unk pick. But I honestly really like Scarface. I like a lot of Coke rap. So I got to go Scarface. KRS-One or LL Cool J. Again, KRS-One is like the objectively better rapper. LL Cool J, underrated. His first project he made when he was like 17 or 18 that Rick Rubin produced some of, and that project's so important. Mama Told Me to Knock You Out, like all that stuff after is so good too. Like he's weirdly underrated because I think there's a generation of people that just know him as an actor, as just like a figure in culture. It's kind of the Snoop Dogg effect where if you get known for something too far outside, Melly Mel or Will Smith, you know what? Will's getting a lot of hate right now. Do I think he's better? No. DJ Quick or MC8? I'm going MC8. Come on. The Game or Rick Ross? Whenever I think of Rick Ross, I think of that clip of Ernie Johnson where he's like, M-I-A-O. But honestly, he's great. The Game has one good album. Documentary was just great. Jada or Pusha? Pusha. Jada's great. Pusha's so much better. Mos Def or Talib Kweli? Come on. This is so obvious to me. Who's picking? If you like that sound and you like that style of music, who is picking Talib Kweli over Mos Def? Masta Ace or Ghostface? Come on, Ghostface Killer. Ghostface Killer could go far. I'm not gonna act like I'm not super familiar with these artists. DOC, I think he's actually I don't know where he's from. Foxy Brown or Wyclef Jean? Going Foxy Brown. Foxy Brown had hits. Not that Wyclef Jean didn't. Just she had more. Jim Jones or Twista? I'm going Twista. Twista's really good. Tupac or Big? See, I hate that they're doing matchups like this because like these are very dissimilar artists in a lot of ways. They just happen to be really popular at the same time and had that beef, and you know, Tupac or Big? I think Tupac's like more important, but I think Big is the better rapper. Like Big is just a rapper. I think is amazing. M or Kendrick? Come on, Kendrick. M's early stuff is great. Thug, come on. This side of the bracket is gonna be weird. Wayne, like I feel like I don't have to explain a lot of these second matchups. Like I can just go quick. Tyler or Future? Okay, this sucks because I love Future, but it's Tyler for me. I love Trap. I don't want to act like I dislike Trap. It's just Tyler is more important for me. I think he represents a side of rap that isn't being represented right now. Crazy Bone. Bone Thugs is underrated as a group too. Missy, of course. Busta. Black Thought still to this day is an amazing rapper. Q-Tip or Big Boy? This is an unfortunate matchup because I think if they used like I don't think this is the best representation of Tribe. Q-Tip is amazing, but I think of him as a producer first, rapper second. Big Boy is just a better rapper because that's how I'm viewing this. I'm not viewing this in terms of like factoring in their production as much. Scarface or LL Cool J? Will Smith or MCA? Pusha T. Again, my Coke rap bias. I love Coke rap. Ghostface Killer or Mos Def? Backpack hip hop heads are gonna be like crazy about this matchup. Going into this, I knew if Mos Def was on here, he was gonna be like a top 4 person guaranteed, and that's because I have such a love for Mos Def's music. I listen to Mos Def a lot. I think he's so underrated as an artist. because he didn't release that high of a quantity, but he so clearly could have, and he focused on other things later in life. And now that he's coming back, I'm so happy because he's still, like, the way he raps is the way that Andre 3000 raps, where it's so memorable. Whatever he says, like his song Love off of his first project, Black on Both Sides, is so important to me. And like I remember I was in an interview for something and I quoted the song to the person. They were like super impressed, but it was like a weird moment because it was like, man, to write something that poetic that like I can transcribe it to my own life and even relate that to someone else, it's just crazy. Don't really know these artists. That's unfortunate. I should listen to this. I should listen to some Treach later. Again, I'm young. I wasn't there for like prime Biggie, so I'm going Kendrick because I think Kendrick just has, again, higher quantity of amazing projects. People aren't gonna like this opinion at all. Young Thug to me is like the best trap artist, right? I think he's better than Travis. I think he's better than Future. Lil Wayne is one of the GOATs. There's no denying that. But a lot of his stuff didn't age well. The Drought series is amazing, and the Carter series is amazing. But outside of that, there's not a lot. And this feels sacrilegious, but I'm going Young Thug. Freddie or Tyler? I'm going Tyler. I'm surprised Earl wasn't on here because I think Earl would go really far for me. Missy again, underrated. Busta Rhymes. I'm saying underrated for like all these artists. I feel like I should clarify why I'm saying that. I say that because I think there's a generation of people that love to just hate on older artists because they're older, and like I think it's important when consuming a genre like this and taking it in that you have a great understanding of where it started and where it came from. Which is why, like, I feel bad about the artists I don't know on here because it's like I feel like it's disingenuous and in some way disrespectful to the craft itself to like not know. But at the same time, I think I do have a relatively better understanding than a lot of current listeners because of my appreciation for some of the older stuff. Black Thought, and yeah, I mean, like, I think when I say underrated, I think it's just because I don't feel like they're being discussed at all now. And with Missy, the reason why I said underrated, because I immediately in my head remembered like, oh yeah, didn't Rolling Stone like put, like Superfly as like a top 5 album ever or something? Yeah, it's like publications like that are going to overrate because they want to look good. Like, let's be honest, that's why Rolling Stone is doing that. But when it comes to the average listener, they probably don't really know or understand why she gets that sort of love and respect from the community. Big Boy or LL Cool J? I'm going Big Boy. Pusha T, come on. Pusha T might go really, really far. And that new Clips album is coming out soon. So, hoping it's good. The new single was decent. Mos Def. Kendrick over Twista. Thug or Tyler. See, this is so bad because Tyler was one of the first artists that really got me into rap. And I feel like I've gone with a lot of what is the right answer with a lot of these. So I'm going to go with what I feel like is the right answer, which is Tyler. But Young Thug, I mean, Slime Season 3 is so perfect. I'm Up is so incredible. There's so many projects from there that are weirdly underrated. Even the YSL series, like those tapes are really solid, just like label tapes. And I think he's underrated as someone, there I go, using the word underrated again. I think Young Thug is just not appreciated enough for his ability to switch voices. And I know people like joke about it, but it's something that's so unique that no other artist can do in the way that he does it. Missy or Black Thought? This is tough. I'm going Missy, but Black Thought is incredible. The Roots have so many great projects. Pusha T or Big Boy? I already have Andre up there. I'm going Pusha T, but Big Boy doesn't get the love he deserves. Mos Def or Kendrick? This is tough. This is the two different sides of conscious rap in terms of generationally and also just in terms of sonically. You have a much more sample heavy boom bap artist with Mos Def, and you have the conscious rap of Kendrick, which spans kind of every genre, but it's that's a very newer thing in conscious rap. And newer, I mean in the past like 15 years. But it's like you see artists like Saba that do a similar thing where they kind of do this every genre using jazz, boom bap, some elements of trap, some elements of pop rap, some elements of just like blog era stuff. And I feel like that kind of set a standard in a very different way. So I'm going Kendrick kind of for that reason. Tyler or Missy? Going Tyler. Pusha or Kendrick? See, I hate this matchup. Because everything in my heart is saying Push, but everything in my mind is saying Kendrick, which makes me think that Push is the right answer. I don't need to overthink this. This is art. Is Pusha T about to win this whole bracket? That'd be so fitting given the Clips album coming out. Yeah. That's crazy. That's so crazy. And Pusha T's so amazing. like this is gonna sound stupid, but it's just like he has so many projects. They're just so like My Name Is My Name, so incredible. His last project is so great. His last project Daytona is awesome too. And not to mention his stuff with Clips, because we're now comparing the two people that are the best members of the best two duos in rap ever, Clips and Outkast, and both are still able to rap well now. Pusha has a lot more material out there, and I think his lows are a lot lower than Andre's lows, and I think Andre's highs are higher than Pusha's highs. But I think Pusha has just so much high quality work that's hard for me not to say he's the best. It's disingenuous for me to act like I don't think Andre has better verses. And here's how I want to end this. Mr. Me Too is the best rap song, in my opinion. I think it is perfect in every single way. The beat's so inventive. It's so cool. Every verse is amazing. And Pusha is so good on that. And Pusha has benefited from having the best producers around him at all times. He also raps about one topic. And he does it better than anyone else. But Andre has, Elevators, his verse is so good. I feel like I'm deliberating over nothing right now because I know it's Andre. Andre's the winner. Wow. Okay. Well, this video is probably way too long. It's probably going to be like 30 minutes or something. We'll see. But if you stuck around and watched this whole thing, thank you for watching. Listen to some Andre, listen to some Outkast, listen to his new ambient piano stuff. But really, I guess the point of this list is like, listen to Clips. Listen to Clips. That's the real message from this video. Listen to Clips more before their album comes out. Thanks for watching. I make music too. You can check it out. My new EP is called Old Conversations by James Coe. It's out on every streaming service. Like and subscribe. Thanks.